Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today I've got a 1 versus 1 on Meeting of Minds. Playing as the Tyranids, we've got Hujek123, and playing as the Witch Hunters, we have got Futomaki. Futomaki will be opening up for Powerlifter, a couple of combat squads, and a support squad, as well as a Sorority Convent, Military, Doofer, and Jesus Christ, Plasma Generator as well. That's a lot to open up with. Whereas the Tyranids are going to go for Humble, couple of Gene Stealers, and a Tyrannicus Brood Spire. So if you've been playing with me and the boys on, how would one say, the Discord, I'm trying to learn to play Tyranids, and I've really been trying to make the little Tyranid opening work. This Tyrannicus Brood Spire makes all the big Tyranids happen. I've been trying to make the Hormagaunts and the Termagants happen, but it's just, the opening does not work, which breaks my little Tyranid heart, but there we go. Anyway, we've got some regular dudes coming out, nothing too fresh and fancy. A Shrine of the Militant Order, so we'll be expecting a sister-focused build, which is quite cool. Don't think I've ever seen the other Militant Order, completely forget what it's called, but the one that's not sister-orientated. But that's fine, that's okay, it's a good order to go for, especially against Tyranids, considering that a lot of their late-game units have Demon Armor, which a lot of factions do tend to struggle with, but not the Witch Hunters. They are known for their ability to crack and smack, just as good with the best of them. Sentinel Powerlifter just holding on around here, ready to build up a listening post. Now, Powerlift, I don't watch many YouTube shorts. I'm not a YouTube short kind of guy, to be honest. One YouTube short I have all the time in the world for is, I don't know if you've seen it, but if any of you've seen Harry Spotter and the Goblet of Gains, it's great. I love it. I won't give you any context. Do some Googling or YouTubing. You'll trust me. You'll not regret it. There's some funny AF stuff on the tinterwebs, if I can use the young vernacular there. Anyway, some Seraphins coming out, and these will be a mean customer for these Gene Stealers to deal with, considering that they've got no ranged option whatsoever, so these girls could just meander around, firing willy-nilly. So a nice little counter to the Gene Stealers, not very mobile or high in health, really. So I mean, look at that, just 4 ladies take on 1 Gene Stealer. No dramas whatsoever. These guys probably won't be able to take on this Relic neither. Although they're going to turn around and try and do these guys in. Got some Raveners coming in. Look at that, said that correct first time. Well done, me. If you haven't subscribed, you've got to now because I pronounced it correctly. Some Spore Clusters there. But got them just in the nick of time. Almost managed to get away to these Seraphins. I do believe that they've probably got the movement speed to get away, but they were stuck on that Hive Spire just then. But yeah, they probably won't be able to bash any of the buildings. Need to really focus on those Gene Stealers. Normally you'd get these ladies to kill some builders, but obviously the Tyranids don't have any builders, as their buildings just kind of plop on the ground. A lot of spore mines being stored in these spore chimneys. Down here we've got some Gene Stealers trying to mind their own business by capturing this critical location, but I imagine Judge Dredd and the boys will decide to show them the business, but against some Gene Stealers they probably won't do all that much. Look at the damage disparity between those 2 units. Not even a close call there. The Seraphins will continue trying to deny this relic, with Gene Stealers over the north-hand side, capturing the critical locations as well. But central point, Judge Dredd and the lads going to go for that as well. Raveners not yet able to go for their Death Splitters or their Devourers. But when that tier 2 comes online, quite cheap upgrades, all things considered, if you get those spawning pools up and about. Sentinel Powerlifter being caught on those Gene Stealers, but managing to scuttle away from the mainstay of damage. But yeah, the Seraphins probably not going to gain all that much from continuing their assault. Not much in the way of targets for them to go for. But we'll spot these Gene Stealers down south, so may as well get them while the getting is good. Seraphins gone for the twin flamer pistol. But oh dear, the spore mines killing 1 poor Seraphim. They will go for an extra one just to replace that. So that is something. Look at the charge on these lads. They're not giving up. Insert that speed up sound from Sonic the Hedgehog. That's what you would put in there if I was good at editing. I'm not going to, for that would take too long. We've got some Gene Stealer upgrades. What were those upgrades? You tell me, young man. Let's have a skip through. God, he was building a lot, wasn't he? Oh, Gene Stealer acclimatization. So able to get more units in there, or more models in one squad, shall we say. Gonna auto-reinforce those bad boys. Double Raveners, by the looks of things. Yep. And these regular fire squads and melee squads aren't going to do diddly squat against these guys. Very much capping units are these lads. And absolutely pants in close combat, so they won't be doing anything anytime soon. I mean, they've got, like, you know, smoke grenade launchers and, like, crack grenade launchers, so, like, later on in the game, definitely a viable support unit, but not something you want to be holding the front lines in the early stages of the game. Got a Reliquary of Faith on the way, so tier 2 4 sisters. These guys are also able to jump inside the Arbites posts. These guys, just 2 lads inside. They're the regular turrets, or the upgraded version. With power guns, or power guns? Plasma guns. And actually, that's an interesting thing. The Tyranids have not gone for their Broodlord, or whatever you call that dude that gives them synapse. So nothing... I mean, GZ have got quite good morale, but... I mean, oh, so Raveners, I suppose, but they won't be able to regain it while they are out of synapse range. So they will have to bees all the way back home if they want to feel good about themselves again. Spore cluster being spawning a little bit far away from these Seraphins. Is exploded, it did, before they were able to get anywhere near. But it does look like this Arbites post might go down. But without the morale, these guys' damage output is severely reduced. And they're gonna just decide to tunnel away. God, that's a lot of spore do for spawning pools. Yeah, geez, he's really gone ham on this. Gonna see a Hive Tyrant. Well, that'll certainly keep your synapse up, will it? Won't it? And the Raveners also able to gain their synapse back from the spore chimneys and all that good stuff. Gene Stealers falling back. And the majority of the field at the moment, sisters do have the dominance, but how long will that last once these guys have a synapse creature in their ranks? All's going to go for that Carnifex chamber. So some big boys ready to make all the noise very soon. More tier 2s going around everywhere. What would the sisters go for in this circumstance? They're going to go for some plasma generators. Now, if the Gene Stealers focus primarily on the Raveners... Oh, never mind, they're going to go for Death Spitters. I was going to say that if they focus primarily on the melee combat-orientated units, then some air units would be ideal, because obviously you can't really punch an air unit. That's not what you do. I'm going to see more Gene Stealer acclimatization, so definitely focusing on upgrading these boys. And to be fair, Gene Stealers at the beginning of the game are quite weak, but as the game goes on and you pile on more and more of the upgrades on them... I don't know if you saw the game a while ago. I think it was actually... I think it was the same matchup. I think it was Witch Hunters versus... It was either Witch Hunters or Demon Hunters versus the Tyranids. There was one guy who did a really amazing cheese play where he just kind of built everything everywhere. And while the Demon Hunters were destroying all of his base, he got like about 50 Gene Stealer units, infiltrated them, moved them over to his base, and just basically did the most effective base trade known to man. I'm going to see a magma vent being popped on the top over here. Sisters not feeling all that confident. Don't want to really push forward. And when they see this amount of bug-esque units coming towards them, they'll probably understand why. That is quite a fighting force for them to deal with. Got the Seraphins. They've now also got some Celestians as well. Celestians will go for some Heavy Flamers. Heavy Flamers being ideal to break the morale of the Tyranids. Especially when they're out of synapse, but when there's a Hive Tyrant around them, it won't do them any good. Gene Stealer's not quite strong enough to take on a listing post upgraded and Seraphins, but managing to only lose one model there, so not the end of the world. These guys just posturing for a good place to fight. No one quite getting there as of yet. We've got a Screamer Killer Carnifex ready to maneuver around on the battlefield. Celestians opening fire, got one of their Omega Fires in their ranks, able to increase the faith. In fact, actually, how is your faith doing? Oh, maybe they don't have faith. Maybe that's not a thing that the Witch Hunters do. Which makes sense. Oh, economies at the moment, 140 and 70 compared to 131. There we go, don't forget about the economies, Mr. Landshark. Whatever you do, keep that map awareness a go, keep that economy check on the fly. Spore Mines ruining the firing line over here. Raveners going in for those flanking maneuvers. These are Arbites melee squads going up against Screamer Killer Carnifex, which is definitely not what you want. Oh, that's certainly not what they signed up for anyway. Seraphins over here trying to give that Magma Vent a cheeky little bit of a lick, but Far too gaffy for them as the Tyranid warriors came in to sort them out. Got some more Celestians around the backside. Quite a lethal unit, I must say. Very strong in the health department, very strong in the range department as well. Also effective against commanders, so... But does the Tyranid Hive Tyrant have commander armor? He does. So got to keep an eye on him. He is coming to the Lich Pin that keeps all the morale go. But counter effects don't seem to have any problem with their morale. Do Tyranid Warriors... Oh, Tyranid Warriors there also. Fine, they're synapse units. So they're all cush. But against this firing line... Gotta be careful. Magma vent. Soon to be ripped down. And the Tyranids in full retreat here. Waiting for that critical mass to go for these ladies. Tyranid compositions are quite deceptive in the sense that you look at them and you think, wow, that's a lot of Tyranids. No way that they can all die, but bearing in mind that Tyranids are quite susceptible to death. Seen many a time when I've tried to build up a big fighting force and they're just, oh gee, look at this. Look at all the Rippers. Here come the Rippers. I do an Australian accent for this bit, but I'm probably not going to sully the nation states of Australasia and Oceania. But yeah, the Celestians, no, this is not a good place for them. Too many flanking units. And even though these Rippers won't do all that much in the way of damage towards them, it's enough to make them want to run away. So fair enough. Rippers also quite good against buildings as well, so helpful for counteracting any buildings that they see. We do have an Adeptus Sortus Armorum, which is a beautiful little building there. And there we go, Nephilim jet fighters. If you're up against majority close combat orientated dudes, get some jet fighters out, you'll be alright. Powerlifters coming in, ready to get swole on the battlefield. Maybe going to try and see if they can keep this Arbites post alive, at the very least, just to keep this Screamer Killer up and about. Hellfex Carnifex on the field as well, the ranged variant of a Carnifex. And a good, staunch line of Flamers on either side here. But is it going to be enough? There's a lot of units to kill. The Raveners seem to be dying quite quickly, in all fairness. Hive Tyrant over here, away from these boys. These boys have had the morale being broken. More and more Nephilim jet fighters coming out. Very little in the way to counter them at the moment. Warriors over here, kind of just chilling out. Where are you? Are you just... Oh, you've gone for your Death Spitters, right, okay. Which might... Well, I mean, they'll allow them to fire out the Nephilim jet fighters. Does a fair bit of damage. Well, not amazing amount of damage, but it's enough to make them think twice about leaving them in the middle. Power Lifter being broken down, but a good, sizable amount of ladies down here. Using those buildings well to wonderful effect, making some narrow choke points that prevent the Tyranids from being able to swarm around them. Very nice use of the base there to defend things. There we go, some Repentiers. Just absolutely going ham on anyone. Got their mistress involved. She's able to activate an ability where, for the price of a little bit of health, they are able to increase their damage output. Mixing a bit of pain with a bit of pleasure. Sounds like a good weekend to me. And that Hive Tyrant getting thoroughly spanked all the way back to the base. Nephilim jet fighters really were the good call here. Nice stuff. All seems like they've gone for one of their upgrades where they're able to jump in combat, which is quite cool to see. Yeah, Tyranid's been pushed all the way back. Really good push though, I must say. Like we say, when you look at Tyranid Fighting Force, you think, yeah, definitely this will win. But I would say that their mass as well is sometimes a bit of their weakness, as we saw with them trying to get into the base, but not quite having the room to maneuver there. Which makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of firepower. Geez, they're trying to get involved, but sadly not at that stage where they're able to rip and tear through anything and everything. What are the Tyranids going to go for in response? They are in their tier 3. Got some more warriors on the go. I mean, what would it be? Oh, but they've got a million Carnifex chambers. What kind of economy are you rolling with? You've got your influence, so you could potentially go for some abilities. You've got one ability that changes the allegiance of one of your opponents for a little while. Got general stuff to improve your morale negate the morale of others. God, for the life of me, I can't remember. Here's me saying that I'm trying to learn the Tyranids. I can't remember a bloody one ability of them. But hey, oh, such is the way of the terrors of the warp. Replacement Hive Tower on the way. More a proper Carnifex, never mind a Hellfex or a Screamer Killer. A regular old General Carnifex. Now these ladies, and some gentlemen as well, are going to chill out in the middle. No point in pushing too far forward if you're not too confident. Got Spore Chimneys. Lots of them upgraded, but still not their relic. Need to capture that at some point. Or where they're capturing them, they've just been decapped. Ah no, my map awareness. Letting me down once again. One Tyranid warrior trying to go out for a leisurely walk, but not going to work for them. Where's that firing? Ah, firing's coming down from down here. Nephilim Jetfighters looking to take on those Carnifex chambers. But instead going to focus on those Spore Chimneys. Spore Chimneys do increase the influence regeneration. I mean, that is a significant amount of Spore Mines. Spore Mines? Reclamation pools. Also going to go for that Trigon Warren. The Trigon Warren, where all the Tyranids get their big bads relic units out. Hierophant and the... oh, what's the other one called? The other one. We'll find out what it's called later on. Maybe. As of course, if the sisters don't see it, it is quite a vulnerable place. So they could go over and just bash it. I love how when you select the building, it's got this little laughing sound. Very intimidating. 148 economy for Tyranids compared to 153 and 83. Very healthy economy here. Gonna go for those tier 4s or 5s or whatever. Can never read Roman numerals. Repentia Righteous Zeal upgrade as well as another Repentia squad. Not yet pushing in. I think now is the time, probably. You've got you've got a good amount of ladies now, surely. I mean, these critical, or at least decap these critical locations to prevent the Tyranids from getting any of the bigger units out if they have access to it. But nothing substantial. What's the composition for the Tyranids at the moment? They're just basically going for big ones, aren't they? Warriors with venom cannons for the heavy infantry. And then Carnifexes with no additional gubbins. Oh no, he says that. A Barb Strangler, which... what are you good against? Oh, we'll find out soon enough, I suppose. We'll find out soon enough when he gets the upgrade. Tyranid warriors trying to go in for some capturing business. The Nephilim will see them. Gradually whittle down their numbers. Carnifex over here with the Barb Strangler. Ah, this is infantry and heavy infantry. So maybe a Venom Cannon might have been more essential, but then again, the sisters don't have that much in the way of vehicles at the moment. Got another Nephilim Jet Fighter on the way. More upgrades. And there we go. Here comes the push. Here comes the pull. Here comes the rough and ready ladies. Spore Mine being thrown down in the middle of those Seraphins. Repentia just absolutely, they're in it to win it. Hellfex Carnifex in melee combat, which is not where it wants to be. Look how much damage they've done in such a short amount of time. We're knocking them back a little bit. Warriors in the middle. And these ladies are just walking into a minefield of Rippers and Carnifex. Is probably not where they want to be. Stay with the main pack of ladies and attack these Tyranids while they're separated. Warriors taking out their Nephilim Jet Fighter up on the top side. Repentia's jumping straight towards that Carnifex, been knocked back instantly. But they're going to go for a second pass. And look at that, even the might of a Tyranid Carnifex is not against some really angry women. Some Raveners in there just to provide some nuisance in the backlines to allow these Carnifexes to get into a good squishing position. And yeah, the Sisters firing line's been separated a little bit. But that's not the end of the world for them. Carnifex is here. One taken down. Needs to get these warriors in a good firing position while these Carnifexes try to maneuver forward. Might have been an idea that even if getting them a ranged weapon might have reduced their melee capabilities, might be worth just getting them anyway, just so that when they're walking towards these ladies, they're at least doing some sort of DPS. Oh, well, are you a sentinel with a little flag? Have you always had a flag? No idea, but it looks very nice. Very nice indeed. Gonna go for that plasma cannon. Doing some amazing damage against infantry. Not sure... Oh yeah, these warriors are infantry armor. Ha! Interesting. I would just assume that they'd be heavy infantry, but... Hey ho, there we go. I have Tyrant in the mix with a Barb Strangler. Yeah, to be fair, a heavy infantry counter is what the Tyranids need, and they've got it in surplus, but they just need to get into combat for long enough. They're quite spread out at the moment, whereas the sisters are forming this nice violent ball of woman. The Tyranids are quite struggling to deal with. They're being picked apart on all sides. We do have Old One Eye in the mix. It right in the middle. Able to regenerate health like no Tyranid's business. Also just a huge stonking lad as well. With some more Raveners popping in to say hello. Gonna try and break these guys about. Celestine's also good against demons, which is, yep, Old One Eye is still a demon, as well as all these Carnifexes. Some of these weapons are good against demons, I'm not sure which one, but one of them are. But yeah, the sisters seem to have seceded some of the centre ground here. So while they were able to keep together, the sheer amount of big units on the field at the moment, still too much for concentrated fire to deal with. Oh, a Faber plasma generator. That's looking a little bit vulnerable here. Barbazi Sentinel power lift. Go on, just lift him out the way. Show me your strength. Nope. Haha. Just absolutely wrecked by Old One Eye right there. And there he comes. The Faber plasma generator trying to scare him away with some spinny flames. Well, the spinny flames do no good against the carapace armor of the Tyranids. A Xenotype Brood Womb on the way. So potential for the zone for ups. Are we seeing... Oh no, not yet, but they are capturing the relic, so they should be able to get their big relic units out soon. Exorcist Prioris, able to fire long-range artillery. Not quite like the Exorcist tank, which just fires like 1,000,000 missiles. Just one singular one. But seems quite accurate. Oh, good, look, good. Jeez, look at this. I'm not even speeding this up. Those ladies were just keen, my goodness. Usain Bolt times 10. That was intimidating. Intimidating and arousing in equal measure. Here they come, Tyranids. Sisters a little bit out of position here. Gonna move forward, see if they can get a good surround on them. Retributor squad in close proximity to this Carnifex. Hive Tyrant over here, being pestered and harried by some angry ladies. But even then, even their anger doesn't seem to be doing all that much against the big boys. Relic's still being denied by the witch hunters here, but soon they're gonna. Oh, I was thinking that these sisters would be struggling, but they've got a Land Raider Redeemer on the way, so that's not too bad. But even with a Land Raider Redeemer, it's not ideal against any of these demon armored units. Raveners coming in around the side, probably not want to get into the front of a Land Raider Redeemer, but a lot of firepower from the Tyranids as well. Land Raider Redeemer will be able to tank the damage, but not so sure it's got the DPS required to punch these guys back. We've got some more Celestines coming in, and some more Sisters of Repentia zooming about the battlefield. But it'll take a lot more than that to beat back the swarm of Carnifexes. Going to need something a little bit more anti-demonish, I reckon. Land Raider Redeemer goes down. What is the other anti-demon unit that the Witch Hunters have? Oh, the Cherubins, that's what they have. Little babies with serious issues towards the Tyranids. Not too keen, are they? There we go, look at them. Childhood soldiers. ready to zap these guys about. But killing Old One Eye is quite a mean task. The moment he gets low on health, he's just got the ability to regen a good chunk of his health. He's got very slow firing rate on these cherubins, so need to make sure that they are kept outside of close combat. Can be infiltrated though. Although not sure which of these guys have infiltration. I do believe it's any Synapse units. So if I should the Hive Tower, has the Hive Tower gone down? A Hive Tower's been rebuilt. We're all seeing oh, that's the relic unit for a Tyranid army. A Trigon from the Trigon Warren. Well, that... I will learn this game one day, I promise. Anyway, Cherubin's out and about. A happy day for them. And one singular Repentia trying to get reinforced, but she's not giving up. Oh no, yep, she's giving up. There we go. To be fair, can't really blame her in that scenario, can you? Got a lot of firepower coming out over here on the northern side. Carnifex is not quite ready to go in. Do we have a... Where's your... Oh, you've put your... your capillary tower. If you stick... So this building, very, very useful in the sense that from a large area around it, it reduces things like enemy morale, keeps your morale up. I think it also increases your health regen for certain units. So having it stuck way, way on the far right-hand side, not an ideal place. You want to stick it as far closer to the middle as you want. Yeah, Trigon getting zapped by some sister nonsense. Or witch nonsense, shall we say. Taking a fair bit of damage from it. But the Trigon's here, baby. Not gonna... I mean, good lord, actually this green stuff lasts for quite a while, doesn't it? Not bad at all. Old One Eye taking a mean chunk of damage at the moment. Still not too fancy fresh at the moment. There we go, he's activated his health regen. You see how quickly it goes back up. Trigon leading that forward push. Another immolator on the way. But even so, the Tyranid numbers are not the amount that you would expect. We've do got a lot of blue money to spend there. Could be spending more. He's also only gone for... Have you stuck on one... Yes, he's only on one Hive Spire at the moment. You would normally see it by this stage of the game. The Tyranid player going for a second or even third Hive Spire. Because for every Hive Spire you get, the more reclamation pools you are able to build up. But currently got no squad cap at the moment, just focusing purely on that support cap. So it might even be worth, at this stage, to bring out the little ones, like the Hormagaunts and Termagaunts. Just because if you want to spend all your money on the big boys, then, spending a little bit of money on the little boys, just to round off the troops, just for additional cannon fodder. I'm going to see Saint Celestine. Quite a strong unit, with an anti-demon flare. Able to be immortal for a short amount of time. And... Oh, we're seeing a Hierophant. Right, okay, well... If anything is going to scare the Bajee Willikers out of the Witch Hunters, it's going to be the colossal, the mighty, the magnificent Hierophant. Wherever it can squeeze past Old One Eye. Go on, breathe in. You can do it. Get out. There we go. Yeah, this is a lethal unit. Sister Repentia, you don't want to mess with them. Especially when you've got a Trigon on the sidelines. This is also a Synapse unit from what I understand, so able to see those Cherubins. Little angels of the Emperor, not ready to mess with this. Ah, there we go, Spine Gaunts. Where are you coming from? You are coming from... There we go, the Gauntai Broodhive. Get involved. Get the little ones out. That's what you want. Big boys and small boys working in tandem. Hierophant on its own at the moment, which, don't get me wrong, it can certainly hold the line and distract people from what they're doing while these guys get into position, but don't want to leave them out for too long. Most super relic units are amazing, but often people make the mistake of trying to send them out on their own. You see the Spine Gaunts been affected by some music. They're going to turn against their comrades for a short while. Tyranids do love a good song and dance, it has to be said. Immolator over here being spanked up by the Trigon. Trigon taking a fair bit of whack of damage from the Retributors there. Armed with naught but their heavy bolters and a Sacred Standard Bearer. Also throwing some green goop on them. Just to make him feel a bit sad. The Trigon does go down. The Tyranids, are you planning to rebuild that? No, you've spent your money on other things. Unable to keep that economy going. Like I say, should have really built that second Hive Spire. And from the mists of space and time comes Saint Celestine. What a wonderful introduction animation. She comes in, fire ablazing, taking no damage whatsoever as she sings the praise to the Holy Emperor of Mankind. Even regenerating health while that's going on as well, which is quite nice. She does not mess around with this lady. Go on, get him. Give him with your spinny sword. Old One Eye in the... Oh no, that's just a regular Carnifex. Oh no, Old One Eye died over there. Oh, bless you. Swordfrop's coming in. Quite high damage unit, but very fragile. Hierophant is going to run from the Maiden. The first of the... Are you the first of the Saints? The big one? The main Saint? I think so. At least I want to think so. It's the only Saint I can remember the name of off the top of my head. And she's got her little children around her. Her sisters to light the path. As this Hierophant's got nowhere to run. Can't really squeeze past its own Warren or Reclamation pools. What the Tyranid is going to go for... They've gone for another Old One Eye. But... have they got anything else on the build at the moment? They've got the economy. I mean, not much of an economy. I mean, compared to Sisters, yeah, the Sisters are just... Well, not Sisters, sorry. The Witch Hunters. Yeah, the Witch Hunters have got more money than sense to spare. And Saint Celestine able to destroy that bug. Go for a bit of a squish on that lad. Crushing him down to small cinders with her powerful thighs. Also, the Exalted Dreadnought going up against Old One Eye, but he's going to get him. Got a little bit of a win. Minor victory there for the Tyranids. But realistically, what can the Tyranids do at this point? Unless, of course, they just... Also, I mean, what would they go up against Saint Celestine? What would their counter be? Not entirely sure. Something tells me that their days are numbered here. Reclamation pools soon to be burnt to a crisp. Or at least stabbed 1,000 times by these Sisters Repentia. Old One Eye trying to regen himself. He won't go down without a fight. Violence and carnage is the only thing he knows. Look at him do a little spin. He's still having fun. He's still enjoying himself. And that's it. Hujek123 has surrendered. But that was an amazing match. Everyone leaving out all on the field right there, bringing out their biggest and meanest units. But yeah, I think that may be the big main thing, like I said several times now, is the lack of the Tyranids spreading out over the map with their hive spires and reclamation pools out and about everywhere. But hey ho, such is the way of life and death and rebirth. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, £1 a month gets you one extra game a week on the old, what's it called? The Patreon. And there is also a link to the Discord in the description where Discord things happen. Anyway, mine's been Miss Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. I will see you in a bit. Peace.